support breast cancer awareness. This time check is brought to you by TM Pick and Pay.
Good evening and welcome to the Sunday edition. I am Tariro Manamike with Peaceway Jomunyika at the Sign Language Desk.
My name is Joyce Mabika. Arthur Evans will be joining us later on in the bulletin from our Montreux studios in Bulawayo. For now, let's take a look at our leading stories in this Sunday edition. ZANU PF First Secretary and President Comrade Emerson Mnangagwa rallies the ruling party to uphold the unity of purpose.
And in our I Am an African feature, we celebrate one of Africa's liberation icons, Albert Luthuli of South Africa.
Two primary school learners design automated mine security system using radio frequency identity technology. We will be dwelling more on this in our science and technology feature.
And in sport, Dynamis through to Chibuku Super Cup final after a penalty shootout victory over Manica Diamonds at Rafaro Stadium.
And there's some of the stories to look forward to in this Sunday edition. We start off with the main news.
ZANU PF First Secretary and President Comrade Emerson Mnangagwa has rallied the ruling party to uphold the principle of order with clarity of purpose to meet the development expectations of the citizenry.
These were his closing remarks at the 21st ZANU PF National People's Conference in Bulawayo this Saturday.
The President and First Secretary of ZANU PF, Comrade Emerson Mnangagwa's overreaching message was a call to order peace and unity within the party. President Mnangagwa said a clarity of purpose is what must guide members, as straying away from the guidelines can destroy the party.
The clarity of purpose, unity and the cordial environment which characterized our conference shamed detractors and dispelled the misinformation that had spread to alarming levels. ZANU PF is a party of rules and a party of order. Matare umsangano we ZANU PF akajeka, hakuna mazake. So, the whole party and the party membership should entrench this fundamental character and the trait of our revolutionary ZANU party. As the curtain comes down at this historic conference, let us introspect and examine ourselves. Pauri papo, zibvunze kuti uri munhu akavimbika kumusangano here pachako, lapo ukona uziuze ukuthi utembekile yini emhlanganeni iqotho angazi. Each of us should never consider ourselves more important than the party. Always strive to attain these traits. If you fail any one of them, one day, those that perpetrate acts of indiscipline, some of which now extend acts of criminality, are dearly warned. The importance of unifying leadership and respect of the party constitution cannot be overemphasized. These are fundamental pillars to the culture of ZANU PF. Stopgap measures are never adequate in bringing about defining and requisite political solutions. Our membership is ready, therefore, to boldly move forward in the interests of the party. Tina Secretary Legal Affairs, Chinas. Darling, I'm going to I'm not going to Dr. Chinas, you went in my lawyer. A lawyer is trained to be legalistic. So I always remind my young brother, as a lawyer, you must continue wherever you are to be legalistic. At this stage of our political development and maturity of our party, all cadres are challenged to adhere to our deeply entrenched party discipline, rules, and the correct line. The correct line is not established by you and me. The correct line is established by the party constitution.
As the 21st ZANU PF conference concluded, the party assessed progress to date and shaped the vision going forward with a resolve to implement multiple inclusive development projects that seek to improve the social lives of the people. Sifiso Sibanda, ZBC News, Bulawayo.
The 21st ZANU PF National People's Conference, which ended in Bulawayo this Saturday, adopted several resolutions with the objective of moving the party forward.
Among the resolutions passed was the unanimous agreement by all provinces and thematic committees to extend President Emmerson Mnangagwa's term as party president and first secretary beyond 2028.
I will read the resolution which all provinces passed and which was also supported by the thematic committees which sat yesterday and today. And this resolution appears in all the thematic committees that the President and First Secretary of ZANU PF, His Excellency Comrade Dr. E.D. Mnangagwa's term of office as President of the Republic of Zimbabwe and First Secretary of ZANU PF be extended beyond 2028 to 2030.
The ZANU PF legal secretary added that for the party to implement the resolution, it requires the express consent of President Mnangagwa.
There is one resolution which cannot be implemented without the express consent and agreement of His Excellency President Dr. Emmerson Mnangagwa.
Comrade Chinamasa also highlighted that President Mnangagwa has strongly expressed that he will retire and not extend his tenure at the end of his second and final term in 2028. Meanwhile, the just-ended ZANU PF conference has been described as a resounding success.
We had 2 days of very disciplined deliberations where we wanted a very organized conference where there was open debate. When we say that ZANU PF is a democratic party, this was an ultimate exercise in democracy. 4,000 delegates coming from 10 provinces of Zimbabwe in this huge hall, and for the past 2 days they were focused on what is the mission of ZANU PF to the people of Zimbabwe.
The 21st ZANU PF National People's Conference ended in Bulawayo this Saturday. Grace Sibanda, ZBC News, Bulawayo.
Zimbabwe is seeking to deepen cultural diplomacy with Italy as the country participates at the 60th Biennale International Art Exhibition in Venice.
The 60th Venice Biennale International Art Exhibition brings together more than 300 artists from across the globe. Zimbabwe is well represented at this year's edition with breathtaking exhibitions which are attracting art enthusiasts as they depict the rich history of the country, heritage and mineral deposits. Vice President Kembo Mohadi is expected in Venice this Monday, cementing government's commitment towards supporting the sector.
The visit to Venice Biennale by the Vice President Mohadi is very, very important for the country because his presence here is affirming the role being played by our talented artists who are displaying world-class artifacts that have drawn famous and world art collectors. Some of them were already buying here, and some are also coming to Zimbabwe to buy.
The exhibition offers an opportunity for Zimbabwe to cultivate cultural diplomacy with the works on display depicting the country's heritage.
It boosts our tourism because people who are coming here also obviously want to come to Zimbabwe to sample the various artists who are not able to present their work here. And then too, it's a business. Our artists are making money from it. And thirdly, if we promote art to a certain level where the majority of youth work with capacity take up this trade, it's a way of job creation for those who are with the talents. I want to appreciate our highly talented artists for their work that they are doing. Is really a world class and is putting Zimbabwe on the international map in terms of art and culture. I think the last one is that we are talking of cultural diplomacy, which is very important for us as a country.
Zimbabwe is leveraging on the platform to explore areas of mutual interest with the heritage and arts industry in Italy. Bruce Chawanda, ZBC News, Venice.
Zimbabwe's agricultural sector has defied the odds in the wake of the illegal economic sanctions imposed on the country by the West, with the bedrock of the country's economy making significant strides under the Second Republic. Our diplomatic correspondent Josephine Mugio delves more into the innovations and strategies that have fueled the growth in agriculture.
The story of Zimbabwe's agriculture sector has emerged a remarkable tale of determination and resilience under the shackles of illegal economic sanctions imposed by the United States and its Western allies at the turn of the millennium. As Zimbabwe and the Southern African Development Community amplified calls for the lifting of the illegal embargo through the SADC Anti-Sanctions Day held this Friday, it is critical to note that the Second Republic has put in place effective sanctions-busting measures. One of the sectors that have recorded significant growth is agriculture, where there are various initiatives to boost production and productivity, despite lack of credit lines from beyond the country's borders. The Minister of Lands, Agriculture, Fisheries, Water and Rural Development, Dr. Anxious Masuka, says his ministry is cognizant of the negative impact of the illegal embargo on the country's food security, hence the need to find strategies to work around them.
I think the first thing was the philosophical aspect of sanctions, to realize that Zimbabwe needed to make progress, whether sanctions are there or not. So that alone has enabled the agricultural sector to see sanctions as a given, as an assumption for the development that we seek. We then looked at how we're going to rapidly transform the agricultural sector and looked at an inclusive all-stakeholder approach, bringing the private sector on board, putting a policy pronouncement that 40% of value chain financing had come from the private sector, and liberalizing markets, establishing a warehouse receipt system, and so on, so that whoever financed production would be the off-taker. So that led to an increase in the private sector financing aspects of agriculture.
Dr. Masuka, who also highlighted the role of the agriculture value chain to the economy, is convinced that increasing land under irrigation has been a game changer in efforts to attain food security.
We accelerated irrigation development, looked at what resources government had, what resources the private sector had, and we formed the Irrigation Development Alliance. So now we've increased the available irrigable area from 175,000 hectares in 2020 to the current 217,000 hectares. We've now signed deals with the private sector to irrigate an additional 30,000 hectares worth $256 million.
The government is bullish of achieving food self-sufficiency through irrigation by 2030, provided the current momentum is sustained. What is remarkable is that 8 dams have been constructed under the Second Republic, with including Shivu Dam already operational. This initiative, successful Climate Smart from Vudza Intwasa program, have significantly boosted household food security. The program's impact is a testament of the government's efforts to tackle the country's food insecurity challenges, which have been exacerbated by poor weather conditions. Josephine Mugio, ZBC News, Harare.
Meanwhile, human rights advocate Dr. Norbert Hosho has launched a book titled Allies in Adversity, which reveals the impact of strategic partnerships in the face of illegal sanctions.
Renowned advocate for human rights, Dr. Norbert Hosho, co-founder of the Zimbabwe Anti-Sanctions Trust, launched a chronological summation of the Sino-Zimbabwe partnership, which spans a period of 20 years. The literature piece reflects the role played by China in supporting Zimbabwe's economic recovery programs through the Sino-Zimbabwe partnership from 2014 to 2024.
I would want to say loudly and clearly that if we remove the Chinese from the economic equation of Zimbabwe, you wouldn't be wearing the shirt or the trousers that you are putting on. And you wouldn't be smiling like you are doing, because they are the ones who opened their doors. They are the ones who opened their borders for Zimbabweans.
Palestinian ambassador to Zimbabwe, Dr. Tamar Al-Masri, who was the guest of honor for the launch, shared sentiments on Palestine's solidarity to Zimbabwe's revolutionary journey.
From our side, we are proud of our friendship with the Republic of Zimbabwe, and we consider ourselves partners of the Zimbabwean revolution and the Zimbabwean victory that achieved in 1980, because it doesn't come, or it didn't come for free. It comes with mountains of bodies and rivers of blood. So the struggle of the Republic of Zimbabwe didn't end in 1980, but it's continuous.
As Zimbabwe continues to navigate the complexities of global politics and economies, this book serves as a timely reminder of the power of strategic partnerships and mutual support in fighting geopolitical injustices. Farai Gwaze, ZBC News, Harare.
The goat breeding agriculture subsector is destined for sustained growth after farmers benefited from a capacity-building initiative for exotic varieties. John Nandara gives us more.
The Goat Breeders Association of Zimbabwe has engaged foreign experts to train local farmers on goat breeding, been trained in breeding Boer and Kalahari breeds.
You can't breed animals or how to look at the structure of the animal. When it to livestock management.
Zimbabwe is taking advantage of our adjacent to South Africa to say we can also breed the best of the best quality animals. And for us to do that, we don't breed.
It teamed up with youth-based initiative.
Is with medicinal values that can cure us of any disease.
They, however, rely on
the data from
to unlock the innovative type rodents. We had similar inventions.
We made it as
rodents. We had similar inventions.
We made it as a reflection of, but a smaller version of what can actually whilst we're here.
Different.
The project is
to other planets. And then they can actually bring us data, for example, the amount of carbon dioxide, the wind speed, and also the temperatures on those planets.
The Africa Mars Rover Challenge drew participants from countries such as Benin, Nigeria, Egypt, Zimbabwe. John Nandara, ZBC News, Harare.
Oh, that's impressive, and well done to those students. And that report taking us to our Montrose studios in Bulawayo. We now join Arthur Evans for more news from that end. It's a very good evening to you, Arthur.
Thank you so much, Joyce, and to the team at Pocketel. Indeed, a very exciting story. I've also got one in my lineup as well, but that one we'll give to you a little bit later on. First of all, the Bubilupane irrigation scheme is expanding its shareholding to bring in more farmers while also increasing hectareage for its production this season.
The 180 hectares irrigation scheme will add a further 360 hectares while also bringing in 180 households as shareholders. The scheme, which has become a national template of successful irrigation, continues to receive direct support from government through the Agricultural Rural Development Authority, ADAM.
The expansion is 360, 180 hectares. Ngale expansion is 360 hectares. Skangele kubale 180 beneficiaries or shareholders. Uthi labo beparticipate ngendlela ethina lathi siparticipate ngayo la.
The scheme is also employing other revenue generation methods through value addition and market gardening.
Sile with stoffer. Siyalungisa ama-bales awutshani be-wheat siyathengisa njengoba libona i-tractor labi iphuma lawo so indlela esirayisa ngayo imali yesincesa ukuthi sithi akhiphe off ama-farmers but ngesikhathi bengakatholi imali ama-project esilawo sikickstartile ukuze yale yama-road runners so iyaqalisana nje very shortly lengathi yiwo ama-revenue streams esifuna ukuwa-create lapha irrigation.
Le irrigation scheme siyambonga umongameli ngoba itshintshile impilo zabantu beLupane. Kwakuthiwa eLupane kukomnyama ubambili akulanto emilayo akulanto engavunwa but iminyaka yonke siyavuna iwheat, iminyaka yonke siyavuna umumbu, iminyaka yonke kuyavunwa amakhabeji, kuyavunwa amatamatisi ukuthuthukisa impilo zabantu beLupane.
Government's Rural Development Trust is paying huge dividends in Matabeleland North Province through the Bubilupane irrigation scheme, contributing to national food security and attainment of an upper middle income society.
Still on agriculture, government is intensifying its distribution of inputs under the Fumvutsa Intwasa program, with at least 1,000 smallholder farmers in Rusavane benefiting from the initiative.
Distribution of farming inputs under the Fumvutsa Intwasa program has gathered momentum, with the exercise being taken to smallholder farmers in Zvishavane district.
Pambepo taita kusatibatsira kuti tiwane chikafu tigodla tigorima timira vana
tafara zvikuru nokugamuchira mbeu yotapiwa itoda kurimira vana tikazita.
Zvishavane Runde constituency legislator Honorable Fred Moyo urged farmers to take advantage of the early disbursement of inputs to prepare for the summer cropping season.
Kana mvura ikauya zvaunotinowe yakati tichafara zvikuru kufuka pane zvinobuda pamapfunda nezvimwe zvatichavapo tibise zhara kuno hakudi chiba.
Commitment of having no one and no place behind in its development programs.
Ini ndatumwa nemutungamiriri wenyika kuti tizosvitsa vanhu mbeu yavo nefertilizer kuti murime nekuti nguva yekurima yasvika. Musi wechishanu tanga tiri kulowa Gweru tichiita same program, tikaenda Shurugwi tichiita same program, tikaenda kuKwekwe tichiita same program. Nhasi tiri muZvishavane.
Fumvutsa Intwasa represents a transformative climate proofing concept designed to protect the citizenry from the effects of climate change through ensuring food security. Courage Ushes, ZBC News, Zvishavane.
We promised you an exciting story. Well, this one might be somewhat strange. A family from Tapa suburb in Gweru got the shock of their lives when a cow meant for slaughter escaped the abattoir and bolted straight into their house. Our Midlands Bureau Chief Tafara Chukumira gives us more on the incident that leaves more questions than answers.
The mere sight of a herd of cattle in a major city like Gweru is a spectacle
And it's even worse when a beast makes its way into a house. This is the story of a family from Mtapa suburb after an unwelcome visitor bolted into their family home through an unlocked door on Monday last week. The bizarre incident occurred when a cow that was meant for slaughter at a nearby abattoir took off, ending up at the Mayaya family's backyard in Mtapa.
Yakatondikuta pakona peroad apo ikauya kuno kunobva mhanya ikapinda passage ikaenda kuseri kugarden uko. So paikaenda kugarden uko ikanoshaya access yekubuda kuenda kunze. Then vakomana veabattoir vakabva vatevera ndokubva vane tambo kuti vaisunge kunze vakabva vaitya. Inini ndini ndakatoisa tambo kuseri. Paya ndakaisa tambo kuseri yakabva yatiza. Ini ndakatadza kunobhalansa kuibata ndobva ndadonha ndakakuwara apo. Payakamhanya apa sawira wangu akabva abatawo tambo ndobva yatsaimwe tambo yechi2 ndokuidhonza kubuda nayo panapa. Patakabuda nayo panapa vakomana vacho ndobva tavapa tambo dzavo akati chitora mombe yenyu mudi muende. Payakamuka ipapa ndobva tatadza kuibata bhozi yanga yakupenga.
While the workers at the abattoir could not speak on record due to company policy, they confirmed Chatikobo's version. The incident, which has taken social media by storm, has also attracted its fair share of controversy in the community, with some blaming it on witchcraft. As expected, the accusations of witchcraft have not gone down well with the family.
Saka haina hai chimwe chayakatiitira chakashata. Saka regai kungotaura mashoko asingashandi pavanhu muchishambadzira zvinhu zvisirizvo. Taura zvaunoziva kwete kutaura zvausingazivi. Chaona siya ipapo mukainongera.
While so many questions remain unanswered and life goes on for others, it will never be the same for this family. Tafara Chikomira, ZBC News, Gweru.
Well, strange indeed. Let us know your thoughts on our X page as well as our Facebook page. We're also online on YouTube at the present moment in time. So let us know what your thoughts are about that cow. Now let's talk about African icons in our I'm an African segment. Now the struggle by African leaders against colonialism came with a heavy price, I beg your pardon. Yet even in the face of imprisonment and persecution, there were icons who laid down their lives to liberate the oppressed majority. We celebrate one of the African liberation icons, Albert Luthuli of South Africa.
Greatness is forged in adversity, as the timeless phrase reminds us, open quote. Legends are born in a valley of struggle, close quote. This profound truth underscores that heroes emerge from the darkest depths of challenge, tempered by hardship and strengthened by perseverance. Africa's history is marked by countless legendary figures who rose to prominence amid incredible challenges. One such iconic figure is Albert Luthuli, a champion of freedom and human dignity in South Africa. Popularly known as Chief Albert Luthuli, he was a trailblazing African nationalist who championed freedom and human dignity in South Africa. Born around 1898 in southern Rhodesia, now Zimbabwe, Chief Luthuli began his career in the education sector, completing a teaching program in 1917. He later became a teacher and principal in Natal. His entry into politics was marked by his election as chief of the Umvoti River Reserve in Crowville in 1935, which exposed him to the injustices of apartheid and fueled his passion for change. In 1945, Luthuli was elected Provincial Executive Secretary for the Natal branch of the ANC, an organization formed to promote voting rights for the majority. Due to his vocal dissent against apartheid, Chief Luthuli was banned several times from South African public life and confined within a 15-mile radius of his home. Luthuli's unrelenting dedication to the anti-apartheid movement was acknowledged when he became the first black African to be awarded the Nobel Peace Prize in 1960. He died in 1967 at the age of 69.
Truly an icon to be remembered. Well, my name is Arthur Sevens. That's all we have for you from our Montrose News Desk, but we do have more news for you on the other side of this break. Do stay with us.
Steelmate Investments is your leading supplier of steel and roofing sheets for all your IBR sheets, field fence, galvanized wire, defense, barbed wire, beams, deformed bars, and so much more. Contact our head office on 0788 930 556 up to 61 or our Mbari office on 0788 930 550 up to 5. Steelmate Investments, your friend in steel.
Join us for the Zimbabwe Broadcasting Corporation's annual golf tournament on November 8, 2024 at the Royal Harare Golf Course. This event celebrates partnerships and excellence, offering a day of great golf and valuable networking. Whether you're a seasoned golfer or a novice, this is your chance to showcase your skills and have fun. Don't miss out. Mark your calendars for sponsorship opportunities and bookings. Don't hesitate to get in touch with Claris on 0712-842-138. See you on the greens.
When I started out, life was tough. I learned I was not alone. The other women supported me. I started my own small business, and slowly, very slowly, life got better. Today, my business is thriving, and I'm able to provide for my family. And I'm grateful for the friends who are there for me. After all, we all need a friend. Zimgold, your trusted friend.
Do you remember back in the day? We would gather at that one house that had a TV in the whole neighborhood to watch our favorite programs on ZBC. Whether it was thrilling wrestling matches, captivating dramas, or the iconic Ezomgito, ZBC TV was an integral part of our upbringing. It wasn't just a channel, it was a shared joy that brought us together. Fast forward to today, and ZBC continues its tradition of delivering top-tier entertainment to your homes. Whether you're tuning in for news, music, educational content, or gripping dramas, we're committed to keep you entertained and informed 24/7. With an expanded channel lineup, we're more than just broadcasters. We're a reflection of Zimbabwe's enduring spirit. Join us on this exciting journey as we revive the golden days and create new ones. Together, we're building a brighter future towards Vision 2030. ZBC TV, your voice, your choice.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. You're still watching Sunday Edition. It's now time for our This and That feature. Up next. A sea of colorful and breathtaking fashion styles swept through the city of kings and queens at a fashion show held during the ZANU PF 21st National People's Conference. Lisa Masugu with that report.
Bold and creative looks that came from the 21st Annual People's Conference were elegant and captivating. Throughout the conference, party members and delegates showcased their wonderful party colors in various shades of fashion. The creative outfits were also taken to the runway as the Women's League held a fashion runway show.
Kutibatsira sevanhukadzi kuti tive creative, kuziva mabasa emaoko, kudesigner, kuita sei seni ndagara ndiri designer.
Show iyo inotifungidza kwatakabva nenhoroondo yedu nekutisimbisa kuti tirambe tichiziva kuti musangano wakabvepi uri kuendepi.
It also teaches us how to dress, how to look after ourselves, how to do makeup, and it gives us confidence.
The exciting fashion show, which was a mixture of attention-grabbing outfits, accessorized with a bit of traditional flair, was a platform to advertise various skills of women.
Kuziva kuti isisu tine bandiko redu remadzimai rinofanira kufamba zvakanaka. Munozvinzwa here president wachitaura wachiti kana musangano usina madzimai hapana zviripo. Madzimai acho anotaurwa ndiwo amunotungamira muri kumaprovinsi aya. Isisu kana tichinzi wakuru wemadzimai tinenge tichitotaura madzimai amuinawo kuprovinsi ikoko.
Inspired by President Emmerson Mnangagwa's trademark, Russian nationals who graced the conference spiced up their looks through purchasing scarves with Zimbabwe's national flag colors. The ambience of jubilation filled the dance floor with heavy intensity, and its wings capturing many in a whirlwind of harmony and ecstasy. Lisa Masogo, ZBC News, Bulawayo.
It's now time for us to look at the world of business. The government is consolidating the growth of the mining industry through the capital investments on exploration machinery to improve mineral output within the next 5 years.
According to Mines and Mining Development Minister Honorable Winston Chitando, government is crafting interventions to ring-fence gains recorded across key minerals such as gold, chrome, platinum, and diamond.
There is new state-of-the-art equipment, laboratory equipment, which has been procured, which will be operational by the end of November 2024. It will be at a suitable date, be officially opened by His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe. That's very modern equipment, which will enable government to, to monitor more effectively the exports, samples, and and better understand the chemistry of the various ore bodies which we have.
Government is also courting strategic investors to bolster exploration.
Further growth is anticipated over the next few years, and a revised blueprint will be launched sometime fairly soon by His Excellency. But in supporting the growth to date and in supporting the anticipated growth, it is important for two things, two interventions. Firstly, to better understand our ore bodies, to have the capacity, to increase the capacity, to have more knowledge on the ore bodies we have, in the mineralization we have.
The mining sector anticipates further growth riding on investor interest and dominance over export earnings. Stanley James, ZBC News, Harare.
And that's our Sunbees taking us to the world of innovators, and definitely the next report will blow your mind. Now, two grade 7 students at Erimapo International Primary School in Jishavane have designed an automated mine security system using the radio frequency identity technology for mining companies. We get more from Courage Boucher in our science and technology feature.
Driven by the rise in the number of mine thefts, vandalism, and trespassing, two Zvishavane-based robotics students, Jaden Piri and Cindy Siwamkwananzi, have come up with an automated mine security system using the radio frequency identity technology RFID. Putting theory into practice, the two has combined basic electronics and coding to come up with the programmed security system which prevents unauthorized access. It also ensures strict supervision of entry, employing real-time tracking and reporting to ensure a secure perimeter. The security system uses access cards. The cards are assigned to card holders through a database using ID card software.
So this is how we made and designed our project. Our first step was to start the project, which is to get the problem and to start to decide what we should do about our problem given to us. We then got the RFID card number, which is inside the card, inserted in a chip inside the card, using M-block, which enables us to put the correct code that can be read by the RFID reader only. Then authentication happens in the RFID reader, which stands for radio frequency identification reader. Here, authentication happens. Is the card the correct card? Are you who you claim to be? If the card number is correct, like here, yes, it allows access by opening the boom gate over there, like we showed you. If someone comes and tries to attempt to open the vault, the ultrasonic sensor will send a signal to our microcontroller, which is the brains of our project, and it will trigger the LED lights which stands for Lights Emitting Diode, to flicker, and our buzzer to make a warning sound like this.
Project Supervisor Mr. Wanda Magwedeza weighed in explaining the importance of the project, which is in line with the heritage-based education framework.
Since we have a challenge of security in our mining town, we need to do something using ICT. That's why we came up with a project which is going to address our local problems, that is problems that are faced by miners.
The RFID access control software enhances security and convenience in various environments by automating access control processes and enabling efficient monitoring. Karajushe, ZBC News, Swishawane.
Education 5.0 is definitely a game changer. That is absolutely impressive. On that note, we take a break, but when we come back, we'll be giving you the sports news. Stay tuned.
EcoCash gives you more. EcoCash points are our way of saying thank you for being a loyal customer. You earn points every time you use EcoCash to send money, make payments, buy airtime, or cash out. These points accumulate and can be redeemed for voice airtime, data, or SMS. You can start redeeming your points once you reach 100 points, and redemption is in multiples of hundreds. To redeem or check points balance, dial *151 *7 hash today. Terms and conditions apply. EcoCash gives you more.
ZBC Current Affairs. Thriving for excellence and perfection in setting the agenda, shaping the Zimbabwean story and sustaining the narrative through detailed analysis and discussions, bringing to you polished live coverage of national events. We are ZBC Current Affairs, delivering to you the national budget, live parliamentary debates, independence, Heroes Day and Defense Forces events. We bring you insightful documentaries, special programs, and thought-provoking debates. ZBC Current Affairs. We are definitely Zimbabwean, telling an accurate, balanced, and unfettered Zimbabwean story.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. We now give you the sports news. The Warriors started their African Nations Championship qualifiers underway on the worst possible note after a 3-0 defeat by Eswatini in the first leg of the first round in Botswana this Sunday. The Obed Itani Chilume Stadium in Botswana was a tough hunting ground for the Warriors.
The Obed Itani Chilume Stadium in Botswana was a tough hunting ground for the Warriors as they succumbed to a 3-0 defeat by Eswatini. The loss leaves the Warriors with a mountain to climb in the return leg scheduled for next weekend at Mbombela Stadium in Mpumalanga province of South Africa. The winner of this tie will face Madagascar in the final qualifying round, with the ultimate prize being a spot in the CHAN tournament.
Meanwhile, the mighty Warriors secured a convincing 3-0 victory over Lesotho in their last group stage match at the COSAFA Women's Championship in South Africa this Sunday.
The mighty Warriors made amends for the defeat to Mozambique in their first match at the COSAFA Women's Tournament after hammering Lesotho 3-0 this Sunday. Ethel Chinyerere broke the deadlock in the second half as the mighty Warriors found the opener before skipper Christabel Katona extended the advantage. Affectionately known as Haaland, Chinyerere sealed the 3-0 victory with their second goal of the match. Despite the win, the mighty Warriors' fate hangs in the balance as they wait for the outcome of the Mozambique and Lesotho match. With Mozambique and Zimbabwe tied on 3 points, a win or draw for Mozambique against Lesotho will see them advance, while a loss will see Zimbabwe going through to the semi-finals.
Defending champions Dynamos are through to the Chibuku Super Cup final after a penalty shootout victory over Manica Diamonds in the semi-final played at Rufaro Stadium this Sunday. We get more details in the upcoming report.
Dynamos and Ngezi Platinum Stars will compete for the coveted Chibuku Super Cup for the second year running after Dimbare edged Manica Diamonds to join Madamburo in the final. Ngezi Platinum Stars came from behind to level the scores before winning 5-4 on penalties this Saturday. Dynamos followed suit with a 4-2 lottery victory over Manica Diamonds. Dynamos appeared to be heading for defeat in the added time of the 90, but Emmanuel Paga produced a magical moment to end the Harare Giants a 1-0 draw in regulation time. The goal was a morale booster going into the dreaded penalty shootout as the Glamour Boys converted all their spot kicks, while Manica Diamonds could only net 2 out of 4, which was enough to end Dynamos' passage to the grand finale. Dynamos now have a chance to repeat their exploits in the same tournament, but will face Ngezi Platinum Stars side that is thirsty for revenge after losing out to the eventual champions, Dynamos, in the last campaign. The two sides will equally be hungry to play continental football next year after falling short of the title race in the Premiership. A victory for either side will ensure another dance on the African safari. The Chibuku Super Cup final will be played on the 30th of November at Rufaro Stadium, which may give Dynamos the edge in front of their home crowd. Reinaud Ngwarati, ZBC News.
ZPC Wange have become the first Division 1 team to be promoted to the Premier Soccer League this season after taking an assailable 14-point lead in the Southern Region Division 1 League. ZPC Wange, who missed promotion by a whisker in the last 2 seasons, finally got it right this year after walloping Indlovu Nyatela 3-0 on Friday to take their points tally to 67. Second place, the Casmen were held to a goalless draw by a Talent Vision this Saturday, blowing their chance of catching up with ZPC Wange in their remaining 4 matches. A Sunday edition will now take a break. We'll be back with Showbiz. Stay with us.
Zim Digital set-top boxes, decoders with all the 7 local television channels and 6 national radio stations are now available for sale. The decoder will give viewers access to ZBC Jive TV, ZBC News, ZBC TV, ZTN Prime, PK TV, Kiona TV, NRTV. No subscription is needed as all the channels are free to view. For $25 or the Zig equivalent, the decoder comes with a cable plus indoor and outdoor antenna. The decoders are available at the Broadcasting Authority of Zimbabwe, BAZ, Transmedia, and all the TV broadcasters.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. It would not be the Sunday edition without us looking at the showbiz. Now, the 21st ZANU PF National People's Conference was capped off by a music gala at the Zimbabwe International Trade Fair grounds in Relayo on Saturday night. Now, Grace Sibanda gives us more details.
An electric atmosphere engulfed the ZITF grounds as various musicians kept the audience on their toes throughout the night. Set the stage alight with their lively performance that left the crowd begging for more. to be outdone was Alois Kambue, who left the audience in a trance with her mouth-watering tracks, proving that disability is not inability. Also on stage was veteran musician Jays Marabini, alongside the likes of Mzo 7, Iasa, Mbare Chimurenga Choir, and the legendary Sandra Ndebele. Grace Sibanda, ZBC News, Bulawayo.
Now, Chile Masters chart-topping success continues as Makanaka remains at number 1 on the Zimbabwe Power FM Top 40 chart.
Two Masters hit single Makanaka continues its reign at the top of the Zimbabwe Power FM Top 40 chart. Politan and Mr. Candy's joint effort Kilimanjaro has burst onto the scene, landing a spot at number 3 on the chart show in its first appearance. The collaborative act by Young Jamin featuring K-Chaps is garnering popularity on the Power FM chart show after moving 24 places in the positive. Four songs made it to the chart this week, including Muswata Muka by Case Flow featuring Saint Flow on position 28, Leo Magozi's Success at number 24, while a collaboration from Roberto's Bowtie featuring Nat O at number 14. Rwarashi Mariga, ZBC News, Harare.
And now it's time for us to take a look at the weather report.
Good evening, Zimbabwe, and welcome to tonight's weather report and forecast. Obafanjuba. Looking at some of the conditions that we had a bit of moisture that drifted in over the western parts of the country, giving us isolated thunder showers over much north and much south. This moisture has kept coming in, as we can see in our satellite image, where we had the first batch of moisture and the second one that came in, and this was giving us isolated thunder showers over the western parts of the country, and we expect this moisture to spread into the interior of the country, giving us isolated thunder showers for much of this week. That's on Monday and Tuesday, but on Wednesday we're expecting a slight drying over these western parts of the country, giving us clearer skies over parts of Matabeleland North and Matabeleland South. That's on Wednesday for much of these western parts of the country, but it should return again on Thursday. We're expecting more moisture over parts of Mashonaland provinces, including Harare Metropolitan. And as such, for today, we're expecting mostly mild conditions over much of the country, with cloudy conditions persisting into the night. Into the early hours of the morning, we're expecting still thunder weather by afternoon over much of the country. And as such, over most of the areas, we're expecting cloudy Monday and Tuesday, but it should get warmer over the west on Wednesday in areas such as Matopo and Bulawayo. We're expecting sunny skies. Same for Gwanda, we're expecting it to be slightly warmer as we get into Wednesday there. Same for Lupane with more of the clear skies. Victoria Falls also suffering the same with a bit of clear skies on Wednesday. And also for Gwe, we're expecting it later on Thursday, but it should be cloudy for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. For Kwekwe, it's cloudy for much of the week with a bit of thunder weather for much of these areas. Kadoma also suffering the same with mostly cloudy conditions. And Chinhoyi also under cloudy skies for much of the period. Harare Metropolitan expecting heavier falls on Thursday. And same for Kariba, we're expecting heavier falls on Thursday as well. Victoria Falls and Masvingo, we're expecting cloudy conditions. Bindura, also the same with the cloudy conditions for much of the day. And Marondera also under cloudy skies for much of the week. Nyanga, a bit of sunshine here and there, but it should be cloudy for much of the period. We wish you a pleasant evening once again. I'm James Kama Jr. for the Met Department.
Many thanks there to James Ngoma for giving us the weather report and focused and putting a cap on tonight's Sunday edition. But Tari, before we go, we have a video of the week.
Indeed, we'll leave you watching Gilbert Kanukanga's Nyika Inovakwa. Pleasant viewing. Good night.